Welcome back to Briggs on Books, our international talk show. We talk to authors all over the world. In fact, in this segment, we might have an international announcement. We will see. Our guest is that supernatural and horror author, Barb Jones. Welcome, Barb.
How are you?
I was just talking to you before the show, and you say you're going to go someplace and do a signing in a couple of years, really. Where is that?
Scotland.
In Scotland. Do you know which city?
Glasgow.
Glasgow, of course. By the way, if anybody ever says, does anybody buy Barb's books, I'm going to put some pictures up here of people actually buying them and getting them signed by you. This is a lot of fun, Barb.
Yes.
Where is this?
That was in Spookala in Tampa just this last October.
And by the way, I meant to say this as part of your introduction, but you started in Hawaii, went to Seattle, and then ended up in where? Florida?
Florida.
So you are an all-over writer. Now, while I was reading your biography just a few minutes ago, it said that in Hawaii, storytelling is kind of a tradition.
Yes, it is. It's part of our culture.
Part of the culture.
Yeah, the Hawaiian culture, they like to pass on the stories from, your history, your family, your ancestors, the legends. And so all of that ties together, and that's how we grew up.
And do you think that's where you got your storytelling tradition?
Yes.
Now,
very much so.
But were there stories of supernatural and horror?
Some legends can be dark. I mean, we do have, the ghost warriors. You do have Madame Pele. You have, a whole bunch of different things. And then I just happen to like the genre. And I love the movies. You sneak in when you're supposed to be asleep and try to watch bits and pieces of the movies.
Well, you like it so much. How many books have you written?
Over 10.
Over 10. And are they all kind of supernatural horror? Are they mixed? Do some stay with one or go the other way?
Stay with the whole genre, the supernatural and horror.
Yeah.
But I do have 2 different series right now, and then standalones. And it's the Blood Prophecy series, and then I have the Heaven and Hell series.
I just happen to have some of these covers, and I'm popping them up as we're talking. The covers are works of art themselves.
Yes.
Now, would you say, I learned this word today, I didn't learn it today, but I've been using it today because I've been reading a lot of author bios, realms, that there's these realms that these stories exist in. Are yours in the regular world, or are they in a special realm?
They're a modern day world.
Oh, they're a modern day world. Like, would we
so
recognize any cities in your books?
The Blood Prophecy series starts in Seattle.
Oh, it starts
so it has all the places that I loved when I was a teenager and growing up, and I'd hang out. So I brought a lot of those places in the series itself. And then I also bring in history. So there's a lot of different places, different countries, different cultures that I bring out in the series as well.
So somebody's reading your book and they're from Seattle. Might they recognize street names or places?
Most definitely. And like my Heaven and Hell series, that actually takes place in modern day Los Angeles.
Oh, in LA. So definitely people would recognize that, even all of us California people. Now, the Blood Prophecy was a separate series, and Heaven and Hell is a separate series?
Yes.
Now, this is my interest, is why I'm asking these questions. So in Blood Prophecy, you have some of the same characters throughout the series?
Yes, they all carry throughout the series. With the novels, book 1 through 4, which book 4 is the one that just came out in June, and that's told from the villain's perspective. So it's all the same characters. They all kind of stayed with the saga.
And the reason I ask is I love a series with the same characters. How many books do I read where it just ends and that person you've grown to love and want to know more about, they're gone forever? But I guess in a series you get to really develop the characters over time.
Very much so.
And what's your most recent series?
The Dark Prophecy series.
The Dark Prophecy.
So that's the continuation of Blood Prophecy. It starts with the Rise of the Hunter. That's told from the villain's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
and then the next book will be coming out
Now, from
next
the
year.
Blood Prophecy to the other series, do the characters go across the series?
Yes, they do.
You'll see them go across. Well, that's even more inspiring for me to get out there and read them. I assumed, I mean, of course, they're paperback. You could get them in paperback and Kindle.
Kindle and audio.
Oh, and audio. Are all of them on audio?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I interview so many authors, and I always say, I'm going to read your book, I'm going to read your book. But for those who have their books on audio, they get moved up on my list. As of today, I decided, because I just, all day long, I'm going and listening to books, and but I just don't have as much time to sit and open the paperback. I've never tried the Kindle, so I'll have to try that too. We do have some information on the screen, the bloodprophecy.com website, your Twitter, which is blood_prophecy1, and Instagram, which is the Blood Prophecy. For example, at your website, what would our viewers find there?
Basically, they could buy the books direct through me. They'll find out about my upcoming appearances. They'll find out new releases, how to sign up for the newsletter, which is exclusive to a subscribing list.
And by the way, I know you'll be in Scotland in 2026. We're all marking our calendars. But where are you going to be soon?
I will be in February. I will be in Tropicon in Jacksonville.
Nice.
Or excuse me, St. Augustine. St. Augustine. It's just Jacksonville. It's going to be my next stop right afterwards.
Are they all in Florida or all on the East Coast?
They will be pretty much most in Florida, but then I also branch out as well.
Yeah.
In April, I will be back in Tampa. In June, I should be in New York.
Now, California, I'm inviting you to California is where I'm getting with this. So,
I would love that.
yeah. Now, do you go, is it conventions, or there's a bookstore, or are there any kind of conventions that you would go to with this kind of book?
I would have to look at it, see if there's any good Comic-Cons, because that's another interest of mine. So I could do that in California, but I am also interested in putting feelers out for bookstores as well.
Yeah, bookstores. Now, we found you, I think, through Instagram. I don't remember, but I look at your Instagram, which is very fascinating. I recommend everybody do that. And also, you mentioned that our viewers can buy your books directly from you at your website.
Yes, they can send me an email. They can use PayHip. I have so many different ways readers can connect with me to get their hands on my books. I make it as easy as possible for them.
Yeah. And, you know, God bless Amazon. We all love Amazon. But if we could buy directly from the author, that's a lot more fun, for one thing. And it probably is better for the author, too.
Exactly. And I sign them. This way you get them signed as well.
Oh, you get them signed. That's very cool. That's very cool. And can we communicate with you through the website to ask you questions about your book?
Oh, most definitely. There's places via email. You can do it through the Messenger, through the Facebook, social media, through Instagram. You can do it anywhere that I am listed. There's always an avenue to get to me.
Every book I read, I say, I'm going to ask that author some questions. I don't get what they're saying, but every time I get to the end of the book, they've answered all the questions. So, but it would be nice to be able to reach out, and I appreciate that very much. Any message for our viewers today, like buy my books before Christmas kind of thing?
Well, it's not too late if you want to get a book for that special someone. I do ship priority, so it gets to you in a couple of days.
Yeah.
I make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, I just want to plant the bug. I'll do a little plug for you. Is that it's Christmas time. You've got to buy people all kinds of meaningless gifts. I go to parties. I always take the host a host gift at the party. Why not give books for Christmas and take books as your host gift? So my point is, don't go to Barb Jones. Don't go to Amazon and click one. I'll order one. Order 10 of her books and give them out. I like to do that. And I get the same one. I don't get 10 different. I get the same one. So I have all my friends and family reading the same book. It's a lot of fun to do that. So let's sell 10 of Barbara's books. I guess we could do that at your website, too.
Yes.
You'll be signing like crazy. That darn Mike Briggs made all those people go to my website and order multiple books. We're already running out of time, Barb. Anything you want our viewers to know?
I'm very accessible. I love to get to know my readers, and they mean a lot to me.
That's good. By the way, I know we're past time, and our producers are saying, get off the air, but tell me, if somebody's so prolific, can you just tell us in a nutshell, what is your process? Do you sit down every morning at 7 a.m., or how do you do it?
I write whenever I feel like it, but I always designate at least 2 hours a night
in the evening,
writing, no matter what it is.
2 hours every single evening. During the day when you're not writing, are you writing in your head?
Yes, so I have plenty of notes and sticky notes everywhere. If a thought comes, I write it down real quick because I never know when I can use it later.
That's great. Well, if anybody knows how to do it, Barb Jones knows how to do it. 10 books or more, maybe. I haven't counted them all. Thank you, Barb, for coming back on the show. And
always glad to be here.
And we're going to run the heck out of this interview between now and Christmas on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all those things. Thanks, Barb, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks.
And for our viewers, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more authors right after this.